What up, fam? When building a minifigure army, do not do this. Now, why am I saying this? Well, because everyone does the same thing and it's kind of boring. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, like literally a long time, any chance I get when forming up minifigures in some sort of militaristic formation. And I'm not really sure if anybody's paying attention. All right, so I've been saying it for a while, like literally everybody's doing it wrong. Like, why is everybody forming up baseplate armies? Like, does the Star Wars thing like really mess up everything when they form up their stormtroopers or rebels in specific square formations? Not all of Star Wars. Attack of the Clones technically did it right when there was a leader in front of a formation leading the whole thing. I mean, that's basically what I want. I like, put a clone in front. Like, I mean, that's essentially what I want. I want to see someone with their clone army put a leader in the front of the formation, like any other formation in the world. All right, I'm just kidding. You could form up your formations of your minifigures however you want, leader or no leader. I'm just giving you pointers to make them look as realistic as possible to what actually happened in real life, or actually happens in real life. And this isn't really a Black Falcon Army update. This is just something I wanted to elaborate from my last Black Falcon Army video, level 12, and kind of give it more emphasis because I thought of some stuff as I was going to sleep. Now, here is a traditional base plate army. Nothing special. Everyone looks the same, almost. There are some differences if you were to go back, but position the same way, shields held the same way, weapons held the same way. Nothing really special to it. Now, what I'm really going to go over is not necessarily anything for Star Wars or anything futuristic and more modern. This is more so a more medieval and castle thing to make your units stand out better. So altogether, I have 66 Black Falcons lined up perfectly from one another. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a very clean look, and if you like your figures to look like this in your formation of your armies, then do so. All right, to be real, I'm just kidding with everyone's formations in their armies of any kind. I just want to give people a hard time because I want to see variations between them. Like, no one forms up like this. I mean, even in the medieval times, they don't set up like this. I mean, I guess more modern times, they're more in perfect formation. I guess more ancient Roman times, they were in perfect formation. Let's be honest, most armies don't do this unless you're elves from Lord of the Rings. Normally, most castle army builders do this to their minifigure knights, where they put the shield and have it held in this kind of straight forward position as opposed to just leaning up on the side. What I like to do is pose the knight where the shield is at rest. Same thing with the sword. Having the shield at a rest and the sword out and a leaning position against the shield, I feel is a little bit more natural when you have an actual person holding this much weight for a very long time. Yes, they'll be at the ready and fight position when something's about to happen, but that's not all the time, especially when you're about to form up for a huge battle. This is like right when a fight is about to happen, not necessarily forming up at the ready. So the Black Falcons who are in front of me all have their shields pushed out and their swords up against the sky. Now, if you're short on base plates and you have more minifigures than you do actual base plates to fit them on, putting the shields at the rest position does a lot to it. Same base plate, 8 across from the front, but you're able to fit more from the back because the shield at the rest position allows less space needed for these minifigures. But I do get it. Having them perfectly aligned like this looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. But this just does not feel natural to me because they're missing 2 key elements, someone leading it and a flag. So you can leave your army like this, or you can do this. Yes, from afar, this kind of looks way better than this in my opinion. But when you really look at the detail in this base plate versus this base plate, there's a lot going on over here. For one, you have someone leading the formation. 2, you have flags and banners. And 3, you have different types of units doing different things. And 4, not every minifigure looks exactly the same to the minifigure next to them. In this base plate, you can see that all the shoulder pauldrons, both versions, are lined up exactly to the one next to them, which is something a lot of people do. They'll put like their swordsman in the front, they'll put their spearman behind, vice versa, or whatever have you, or even different helmets separated from different helmets. And I actually think that's pretty cool because people are separating their minifigures into different types of units as opposed to just making all some similar thing. Whereas here it takes it to another level. Sometimes people like to make their feather plumes all go one way like this, but I find that once again unnatural. Like, the wind blows, yes, one way, but it wavers and feathers don't always go in sync as the wind blows. Having the banners and flags not straight up is a natural thing to see. Yes, it's not perfectly perpendicular to the floor, or parallel to each other, but it adds a little bit more character than it normally did. And having different types of helmets from one another, I feel like it's something that you would normally see during the Dark Ages or medieval times. Also, having different types of units next to each other or separated by an actual space in between each other shows a clear distinction between one unit from the other. And then last, you have someone leading it from the front. Like, you need leaders to lead from the front. Like, why would the leader be hiding in the back? Especially in formations like this. I mean, even modern day, there's someone in the front leading. Always in formation. From ancient, medieval to modern day times, you always have a leader in front of formation. Flags are important because everyone needs to see where these units are on the battlefield. I mean, leaders are important in the front because, well, they need to lead from the front. So this is a base plate of just simple, monotonous, and uniformity. Nothing wrong with that. I think it still looks cool. Where here you can see different stories are being told individually per unit, as a whole, or whatever you want to make up to it. So leader in the front, flag or banner behind, separated by different units, not posed exactly the same way. I feel like adds so much more to any minifigure army, especially if you're a castle. Look, and here's Jesse in front of a squad. I guess it's a squad. It's technically 3 fire teams, so it's a squad of clone troopers. And this is not necessarily a call out on you clone guys, because I have the whole Tarn company of the 501st worth of clones, and yeah, y'all need to put somebody in front. Stop having these base plate armies thing. But yeah, it's not so much modern day clones and all that kind of stuff, but for most of the castle players out there who like to build castle armies, try doing something special with your armies as opposed to having them all look like this, because this is boring AF. Literally boring AF. I mean, just kidding. It's cool, but it's still boring AF as opposed to something like this, where you have hundreds of units looking like this versus hundreds of units looking like that. I mean, this will still look cool regardless, but it feels more like the Immortals versus like actual armies would set themselves up like in an actual battle formation. Honestly, these are probably both the same price. There's less minifigures on something like this versus something like this. Here, there are different type of parts utilized, from helmets, minifigures, to the flags, banners, and customizations, as opposed to here. So ultimately, it's your choice. Costs, I think they're almost the same, as opposed to just, you know, being cheaper from another, but having them different in any special way, I think looks really cool. All right, so let me know what you guys think. If you made it with me all the way to the end of this video, thumbs up, thumbs down, like, comment, subscribe below, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, guys, peace.